Jeff Hinton recently made waves and got a lot of headlines when he publicly said that he's worried about the potential kind of existential negative consequences of super powerful AI. And so to your point, and others, Yoshua Bengio and others have voiced similar concerns. To your point around the unpredictability of what AGI and then especially superintelligence will look like, how worried are you about like an extreme downside scenario where like the continued survival of humanity is at risk? And if that is a risk that you take that you see as credible at all, like what role do you think OpenAI as the leader in the field should or is playing there?
Yeah, I definitely I think I'm probably a little bit more on the optimistic side, that I think that we will be able to kind of figure this out as humanity together, because a little bit like we haven't had a nuclear war, because we're like we have some level of self-preservation. I think there will be something similar here, where I think as we get closer to AGI and superintelligence, we will tread much more carefully, and in fact, but I think that the way to do this is you kind of need to build up the right organizational processes, the right kind of frameworks to think about this and so on. This is very much has been the strategy from OpenAI for the past couple of years, is that we think it's really important to get these models out when the stakes are low. So we learn from all the kind of the risks that are kind of arising when those stakes are low, like things like misinformation, things like biases and so on. Like kind of how do we tackle these? Because if we can't tackle those, then I feel like not very confident that when we get to like super intelligence, we will know what to do. And again, like it's not only about the technical approaches. It's even like how do we have like the right kind of organizational structures for making decisions around when to deploy things into the world and when not. What are the safeguards and so on. This is not stuff that you can just kind of figure out once you get there. If you train them on, now we have super intelligence. Now let's figure out how to make it safe. That seems like really, really off to me. And so our approach has really been like, let's like gradually figure this out. And if we feel like the things are kind of getting a bit kind of too unsafe, then we will hold back on releasing it. We did hold back on releasing GPT-4 for almost half a year, just because we wanted to kind of get much more clarity in kind of the potential downsides of this new model. And I think this is how I think I think if we set that example at OpenAI, I think others will also, that it's easier to set that examples if you're sort of one of the leaders in the field, because then like that adds some accountability to others as well. And we hope through some of our actions that we can kind of add that accountability elsewhere. And I think at the end of the day, then the chances of this being a really positive outcome, which I think it can have, right? Like let's also talk about the upsides, right? Like if we actually get super intelligence where it can solve all the problems we're facing today, like climate change, like cancer, things around aging, all the things that happen as you age, it's like kind of more abundance of and higher standard of living for everyone. Like this is the upside of this technology, right? And so I think it's like it is important that we get it out. We just need to do it carefully.